Hey guys, welcome to another episode of IELTS with Datio. So in today's episode of Shooting the Breeze, I'm joined by this very special guest who flew all the way from Canada, Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
To Saigon to meet up with me. So I'm eternally honored. This is Giang, so can you introduce a little bit about yourself?
The honor is all mine. I'm Giang and I'm very happy to be here in this vlog with Dan. And we're going to be talking about some interesting topics about diversity between Saigon, Saigonese and Hanoiese. Yeah.
Hanoians.
Hanoians. Yeah.
All right. So, you've been living in Hanoi for how many years?
For most of my life, actually, because I was born in Hanoi. I'm born and raised in Hanoi. I've only moved to Canada since a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm. So you were in Hanoi for 19 years or something?
Yeah. No, more than that.
More than that.
Like more than 20 years.
Oh, so you finished your college here?
Yeah, I finished my university in Hanoi. And
That's
then,
nice.
Yeah.
For me, I stayed here until I'm 19, and I moved to Singapore for my college.
Yeah.
And then I worked there for 3 years, so I was there for 8 years in total. I was kind of sick of it.
Okay.
Sick of I don't know. I think it's the vibe there is a little bit too repetitive and monotonous. I just like a bit of chaos in Vietnam.
True.
And, yeah, right?
Yeah.
And the moment I moved back, I expected to have some sort of reverse culture shock, but it turned out to be pretty alright, and I think it's the right decision for me to come back
So
here.
it was a pretty smooth transition.
Yeah, I guess so, because I was mentally prepared, and I embraced the chaos, and I think the city just is really happening, and there's more life to it, I feel.
Yeah.
Right, definitely.
Yeah, I feel the exact same way.
Like, what about life in Vancouver? Do you think that Vietnam has more charm?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I found myself longing for my hometown all the time when I'm in Vancouver. I mean, it's a very nice, modern, and everything. It's a very civilized Western city, but at the same time, it's just, I don't know. It's
when there's
boring.
When there are too many rules and everything is in place.
Yeah.
It just feels a bit rigid, right?
Yeah. It's very rigid and kind of complacent. There's not much. There's not much going on there. So yeah.
So we always feel like the grass is greener on the other side. But once we get to experience both,
No, but I feel like I've developed a whole new level of appreciation for Vietnam, for my hometown, ever since I moved to Canada.
Me too. When I was still living in Vietnam, I just had a lot of hatred for it, right? And we don't get to appreciate all the quirks and all the things that the locals tend to consider undesirable. But when we move overseas, then they sort of become the charm of our city.
Yeah, things started to get into perspectives, and you start to see all the hidden charms that you weren't able to see before.
Yeah. All right. So I'm from Saigon, and she's originally from Hanoi. So we thought that we would talk about the similarities and differences between these two cities, and I guess it'll be interesting.
Yeah. There's a handful.
So what do you think is the biggest distinction in terms of life?
I think just generally the lifestyle. It's more open-minded. People, I feel, seem more open-minded in Saigon. And in Hanoi, it's a bit more rigid.
Yeah.
I feel people are more uptight.
More uptight.
Yeah. No offense here.
Yeah, I think I can relate to that because people in Hanoi are pretty conservative.
Yeah.
And they uphold traditions a lot more rigidly, right?
Yeah.
So there's this one time I went to a temple in the north, and I went to this parking space, and there's this guy who I had no idea was like
Okay.
a security guard. He was like sipping on his coffee, and I just parked my bike and I went up to the temple without like saying anything to him.
Okay.
Because it's sort of like the norm. It's alright to do that in the South. If it's like a public space, then you don't need to ask for permission. But the moment I got back and like retrieved my bike, basically he got really angry that I didn't say anything to him. Like, I didn't say goodbye, I didn't say hi, I didn't like give him any sort of acknowledgement.
You got into trouble.
I got into trouble and I was like, gosh, that is the difference there.
Yeah.
Right?
Cultural differences. You can say that, obviously. And like, I'm from the South. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, alright. Talking about like the people, I guess that my experience with the Northerners, it's still positive so far. Because my Northern friends, they're young and they have they're more open, I would say.
Yeah.
Because they have a lot of exposure to like the Western culture. A lot of them went overseas and studied.
Yep.
So I think they sort of have a better perspective.
Yeah. And they're more receptive to diversity.
Yeah.
So more open-minded in general.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a big foodie.
Okay.
So are you into food?
Very much so.
So you should not miss the chance to like sample all the local cuisine over here.
Yeah. You know my favorite. It's bánh mì, right?
Bánh mì.
Yeah. That's my favorite food ever.
All right.
Yeah.
Cause like people, there's this hype about bánh mì Hanoi in Saigon, but I'm not sure if it's
Really?
that good.
I'm not aware that there's such hype because bánh mì Saigon, it's more like the norm to me.
All right.
I think Saigon, it's pretty spot on in terms of like their in terms of its bánh mì scene. So I'm not sure. I gotta try bánh mì in Đà Lạt though. I'm heading there.
I'll give you some tips because there's a ton of options there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's talk about the staple in Vietnam. Because what is the staple in Hanoi?
Pho, I would say.
Pho, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to be honest, I've never been a fan of pho. But the moment I went to Hanoi and I was brought to like a few local eateries, I was just blown away by the taste.
Okay.
Yeah, like especially this thing called hue.
Oh my god.
How would you describe that thing to like our?
It's basically donuts.
It's dough.
It's
donuts.
donut. It's a
fried
dough.
donuts.
It's fried donuts, but it's like Vietnamese style. But if you like, there's like the similar dish called Chinese donuts, but it's very different in my opinion because the dough it's more dense. Whereas like if you try donut in Hanoi, it's very light.
It's light.
Very light and crispy.
And it's harder. I feel like it's harder.
Okay.
Yeah, like you gotta bite a little bit harder.
So
and
it's more crispy though.
crispy, and you need to dip it in a sauce to soften it.
Yeah.
But it just blends really well with the noodles and the taste. And I'm particularly impressed by the egg that comes along with it in the broth.
You don't have that here?
No, it's not like a custom over here.
Okay.
So, but I think it's really interesting that people have that side dish,
But the flavor, it's also different, right?
Flavor there is sort of it's lighter.
Yeah.
It's lighter and it's more savory in the South. Sweeter as well.
Yeah. I feel like everything is sweeter in the South.
Even the people are, right?
Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
I hope so.
People in the North, they seem kind of hard to approach. Definitely harder to approach than in the South. But once you get to know them, they're actually very caring. If they really care about you, then they care about you. You know what I mean? Yeah. There's that vibe that don't touch me, don't get near me vibe. I don't know. Yeah.
It's very much like I think it's very much like maybe Singaporeans.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because they're more detached a little bit. But in the South, I think people are so laid back and friendly that they would talk to practically anyone.
Yeah.
but maybe like there's a high level of, I don't know, superficiality. I don't know, but it's good that when you get to know people in Hanoi better, then they are a lot more genuine and caring. Right?
Yeah, definitely.
All right. Okay, another dish. So in the morning, people usually have pho for breakfast.
Yeah.
But in the south, is actually this dish called cơm tấm. And basically, for those of you who have no idea what cơm tấm is, it's a kind of broken rice served with barbecue pork chop, and it comes with fish sauce as a dipping sauce.
Okay.
I think that's basically it, and the rice is like very small grain. Yeah.
Sounds delicious.
It's sweet.
Okay.
Sorry, the marination of the meat is sweet as well.
Okay.
So like everything. So no wonder there's a lot of diabetics.
I wouldn't say so. In terms of like job opportunities, I'm not sure because I haven't been living here for a few years.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's more opportunities here in Ho Chi Minh City than in Hanoi. I'm not sure if that's correct.
I have no idea, but it seems like I don't see a ton of Saigonese up in Hanoi, but there's a ton of northerners in Saigon. So I think maybe there's a pull factor in Saigon.
Probably.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're drawn by the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So.
People say Saigon is đất lành chim đậu.
Oh, okay.
What is that? It's like a fine land where a lot of birds come together and I don't know, build a life.
Yeah.
Loose translation. Yeah. Fertile. It's a very fertile land,
It's
right?
a fertile land.
Yeah.
For individuals to flourish, I guess.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot of compliments for Saigonese and not so much for Hanoian.
But I think we should give more credit to Hanoians. I mean, I'm sure there are some traits that we can learn from you as well. Yeah. But let's talk about work. Like, what do you think is the life pace in Hanoi when it comes to work?
I'm not familiar.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. You're not a local anymore.
Because I don't go to work.
You're not local anymore.
Sadly, I don't go to work in Hanoi.
But from what I heard, it's more carefree over there.
I would say one thing that I can say is that people are very hardworking in Hanoi. They really hustle, and there's a lot of hustle and bustle. And they don't just take care of themselves. They also think about their families and support their family financially as well. So maybe that's a drive for people to be more hardworking at work, I suppose.
All right. My profession, I'm a teacher, so like we are in a very different kind of line of work. So I can't say for other Vietnamese who work, this sort of office jobs, 9 to 5 kind of jobs. Maybe it's more demanding than I thought.
Okay.
But like one thing I know for sure is that people play hard as well. For the Tet holiday, we have usually 1 week of holiday, right?
Okay.
But usually people here, they extend it to like 2 weeks.
Okay.
After the official break.
That's interesting.
They come back to work, and the first few days they would like play cards and put aside work, just stay there and play cards and drink and snack.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the same in Hanoi.
It's kind of the same in that, this is just only what I've heard. But after the Tet holiday, people get back to work, but not really. You know what I mean? Like
the mentality is like still holiday mode.
It's very much just in holiday mode. So people might come to work physically, but
their heart is.
Who knows what they're doing at work?
I see.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But because we don't really have a lot of holidays during the year as well, so I feel like everybody is concentrating to get more of it during the Tet holiday. Take the most advantage of
what is the idiom? Let their hair completely down.
Okay.
Yeah. So
let their fritz on, I guess. I don't know. That's
it's the most special time of year. It's like Christmas in the Western world, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you feel unmotivated after the Christmas season, like when you go back to work? Definitely. It's like a hangover.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a very long hangover.
Christmas hangover, so we have a TED hangover as well.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's a nice term, huh? TED hangover.
Yeah, I've heard that people had to like go travel somewhere else after the TED holiday just to get their balance back or something like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
So I guess it's really hard for me to like meet her because we're a world apart, and I'm really excited that we made this video together. So I grabbed the chance when I know that she's in town.
The pleasure is all mine.
Yeah, so hopefully in the future we can make another video.
Definitely.
So thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope I can make another video like this in the future. So please, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button for more videos. And I'll see you guys in future videos. Take care, guys.
Bye.